Hi, I'm Sarah from Sept Mod Guide, and I'm here in Byron Bay, New South Wales, Australia today reviewing the Red Paddle Co 10.6 Ride 2018 model of the special edition colour, as you can see. I'll be going over the accessories, the materials, how it rides, who it's best suited for and where it's best suited to. So, let's get into it. Alrighty, so let's talk about this pump. This is Red Paddle Co.'s Titan pump. It is a dual chamber pump, and like no other hand pump I've ever used before. Now if you can look on the back here, you can see there's this plug. When this plug is in, you should be pumping between 0 and 5 psi as recommended on the label up top. From 6+ onwards, pull the plug out, makes it a little bit easier. Now, the recommended PSI for this board is 15. However, you can go above that safely up to 22 PSI. The only reason why you would ever need to is perhaps if you're taking a lot of extra weight with you on board. Now, as I said, this is like no other hand pump I've ever used. I use a compressor quite often as I'm inflating boards on the go all day, every day kind of thing, and I actually got the job done quicker with one of these. By the time I would have set up the whole compressor and everything, yeah, this got it done so quick and with a lot more ease than I have used with any other pump. Even with like Blackfin pumps, which are also a dual chamber, I'm not sure what it is, but the Titan pump just knocks its competition out of the water. Alright, so we've got the bag here, and it is a great bag. On the bottom, as you can see, it's got wheels, which I found to be sturdy and tough when wheeling over all terrains. On the back, we've got your straps, which are very padded and well supported. Now what I like about these is that they can tuck in. Tucking them in like so keeps them out of the way when you are rolling your bag around, because sometimes the straps can get caught in the wheels otherwise. Now flipping it back around to the other side, you can see inside the bag. Inside you can find your cinching straps to keep your board secure whilst in there. You can also see there's this bit of foil which keeps the board well insulated. Now we've got a couple little pockets inside too for the extra bits and pieces, as well as handles on all the sides and on the top, which makes for great portability when you're putting your board in and out of your car or around airports, anything like that. Now the final thing I would like to note about this bag is materials. They're very strong, and so this bag will not rip easily. Okay, so the materials. Now this is where Red really stands out with their boards as well. Now they were the first ones to introduce fusion technology when producing their boards. They have patented their own version, the MSL, which you can find a full video and description below. Now, the fusion technology, it refers to the stage of production where the PVC layers are put together. In many other boards, they are glued together, whereas with the fusion technology, they actually machine fuse all the layers together. Now, this means that there's a dramatic drop in weight, up to 2 kilos difference, as well as it is very rigid and it provides just the same amount of durability, just with less layers. Now also with the Red Paddle Co Ride is their deck pad, which is pressed on at 170 psi, so there is no chance of this deck pad coming off, as well as the rails being heat pressed onto the sides here to reinforce your board yet that once again. Now when you combine all of these materials and you put it together and make a board, you get something like this, which can actually be run over by a 22-ton digger without popping. They did this, the Red Paddle Co did this. Again, you can also find a link to that video below. Alright, so now I'm going to be covering the features of the board. Now the features on the Red Paddle Co Ride do make this board stand out too. Now we're just starting up at the nose. We've got our first D-ring. And this first D-ring is great for either mooring yourself to say a jetty or something like that, as well as towing or being towed yourself. Next under it, you can see is your GoPro mount, so you don't miss out on any of those moments out in the water. And further down, we've got 6 more D-rings with bungee cord. This is a great amount of space. I personally love being able to take out a little bit of gear on me in the water, going for a long day or on those chillier days when you want a jacket, and just keeps everything safe and dry. Next, we've got your deck pad. So I talked about this in the materials, about it being pressed on at 170 psi. So there's no worries about this deck pad going anywhere. Now if you look a little bit closer, you can see that the grip is actually made up of thousands of little red logos, whereas down at the tail, it's actually the diamond groove. This provides a little bit more extra traction for when you're doing those tight back foot turns. Now in the middle, you've got your first handle. These handles are really nice and thick and really comfortable, making the board super easy to carry around. Further down again, we've got the valve. This valve, I've had no issues with any leaks or otherwise getting the pump hose in or anything like that. Some of the lesser quality boards, that is an issue. But yeah, no worries here whatsoever. And then finally, last of all, is our last handle. So again, this is great for portability, just getting your board in and out of the water. As well as if you tend to keep your board inflated, just makes it that bit easier for carrying around. As well as your last D-ring here for your ankle leash. So before I go into the performance too much, I just want to touch base on the fins. Now, as you can see, they're a little bent right now. That's because they're made of molded plastic. So these fins will mold to whatever shape they need to, which means they are practically indestructible. All you need to do is pour some hot water or leave it out in the hot sun for a little while, and they'll be able to be molded back to shape. Now, the overall performance of this board. As you can see throughout the body, the tail is slightly rounded, with it widening out through the middle section, coming up into the nose where there is a slight amount of rocker. Now this rocker helps in chop as well as turning your board around. So if we're going to start talking about conditions and places this board is best suited to, it really is an all-around board. However, being that it is a thruster setup, it is better suited to conditions where a large amount of maneuverability is required, such as the surf or white water, or anything with tight turning, only because without that large center fin, tracking isn't going to be as on point. Now, for a lot of people, that actually is a perfect thing. Beginners, however, might find the maneuverability of this board a little tricky at first, just because, like I said, it does turn really well. And so going straight, it is a little bit to get your head around at first with your paddling technique and whatnot too for those beginners. And that's a wrap for today, guys. So thanks so much for watching and listening to this review. If you do happen to purchase the Red Paddle Co ride, don't forget to get yourself a paddle and a leash, as it doesn't come with the package itself. I hope there's been lots of valuable information for you here. You can check out the full written review on our website, which is www.supguide.com. And don't forget to go to our Facebook page, give it a like, as well as subscribe to our YouTube channel. Like this video, share it with your friends. And apart from that, I hope you're all having a great day out there, and hope to see you on the water sometime soon. This ham is not one.